Ready to go? Okay. Roll tape.
All right. Thank you for gathering here today. We're Team Facebook. I'm going to start off with talking about Internet of Things. This is where the web connects with physical items in our life. It has changed the way we do things, and it is going to change the world around us tremendously in the years to come. I'm talking about a world with driverless cars, interactive ads, being able to know who's knocking on your door without actually having to open your door, facial recognition as a medium for authentication. And our team is looking to step into that part of the world, facial recognition. So here's a little bit about the market today. It is estimated to grow from 1.92 billion in 2013 to 6.5 billion by 2018. This was just reported in August in an analyst report. Right now, the current market segment, the leaders are government, defense, and transportation. But the retail industry is one of the fastest growing segments among those. And that's partly because of marketing strategies that are in place to analyze customers, their behaviors, what are they buying, who they are, and as well to drive customer engagement in retail stores. Emerging trends and opportunities in facial recognition are refining search engine results on the basis of facial attributes and photo tagging, and then gathering intelligence on buying and traffic pattern in retail stores. So where do we want to go with this? This year, our R&D department handed us a brand new piece of technology called DeepFace. It is a leading technology of facial recognition. It has a 97.25% accuracy rate. And we are looking for a way to take advantage of this technology, take advantage of the millions of photos that our users upload. And we've been thinking about how do we want to roll this out to the market. And one of the first things we know that we need to do is take advantage of those pictures that are on our database, and we need to feed it into DeepFace so it learns who our users are. And after doing a little bit of research and talking to potential customers, we found that people are a little averse to adopting facial recognition right away. They had a lot of concerns with security and just the technology is just too new for where we are today. So another challenge that we face that we have, our solution is trying to encompass is adoptability of the technology. How do we get our users to feel like this is a natural extension of what we have today with our product?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Should I rhetorical statement, I realize. Then when you say they're averse, are they averse to being recognized facially anywhere they go, or are they averse to using the technology with any sort of actual action on the back end?
We got a lot of questions with security, like I don't want my information somewhere out there, like I don't trust Facebook to be someone to drive that, because they think of Facebook as a social website where they go to just check up on their friends. They don't really necessarily connect us with authentication piece of it, so we need to do a little branding and gain their trust in that area.
Does Facebook have the user permission to do this?
Not yet.
We'd actually have to, I think, dig deeper into our privacy policy. They might have the ability. We do know that we already do scan for faces throughout any photo that's uploaded, so we obviously have something in place. But one of our points in this would be to specifically point out to the user what we intend to do and ask for the permission.
Just like how we do with everything else today with any new feature. So we've decided to implement our solution with Instagram. We feel that our demographic with Instagram is going to be less skeptical of facial recognition. The demographic wants to try new things, and they are a little self-obsessed. So they like pictures of themselves, they want to put it out there. And by doing this, we can leverage all of the pictures that Instagram already has, and then we're going to provide a service that will familiarize users with facial recognition. So the problem statement, what's the problem we're solving for our users? I just went through what we need from them. And currently, the Instagram user who likes to tag friends and likes to have themselves tagged in their pictures, they don't necessarily like our tagging feature. It's long, it's cumbersome, it takes too long to get their picture up there. And they also have a problem with our ad feature that we just launched. They feel that it's not relevant and it's kind of eating up their profile. So the way we're planning on attacking this problem is Insta-tag. It's going to be a quick, easy, and convenient way to auto-tag all the faces in a picture, and Insta-ad. They're going to be personalized ads based on user profile and preference, and we're going to integrate the user's face with their preferred products.
So can I stop you there?
Yes.
And take us back to the problem statement so we understand. So I'm hearing you say two things. One, that people don't like having to go through these extra steps when they're tagging their friends. I get it, fine. And then they also don't like the ads. Can you connect those two?
Sure, I mean, we're trying to better the user experience with Instagram. These are two pain points that they have today.
Is there something common about those pain points? Because I don't understand how someone like having to stop and tag their friends has anything, like, from the user's point of view, if there's anything similar about that compared to like what someone encounters in the app.
So I'm going to talk in a few minutes more about the customer, or who we say as the users, excuse me. But to answer your question, we kind of have two types of users within Instagram, sort of producers and consumers.
Okay.
So we kind of think that these two will pair really well together with the auto tagging will help the producers get more out to their community or the people that follow them. And then the advertisement will make a more seamless experience for those that are more of the consumer side of things.
Okay, all right. I'll quiet down and let you guys. That's fine.
And so where do we sit with our competition? What is it that we have that our competitors don't have? We have an established user base. They're loyal. They like to use our product. We just hit 300 million users today. And we have Deepface, which is the leading technology in this market. And we have a ton of data on these users. And currently, Instagram is an untapped resource that we haven't exactly tapped into our users the way we have with Facebook. So we're looking into taking advantage of that as well. So here's a block diagram of what our product is going to be. How many people have noticed a teenager using Instagram? Anybody? Anybody's got kids? Usually looks something like this. They're at the mall, they're with their friends, shopping, and we're looking to better that experience. We're looking to either get them to get to the next millionth selfie that they want to put on there, or get back to whatever it is fun thing that they were doing. So our teenager is going to take a picture of themselves and their friend and hashtag that picture and then click upload. Once they upload, it's going to call the Deepface technology, and Insta-tag will automatically tag all of the faces in that picture and then post it to their Instagram feed. Now, Insta-ad is going to call an algorithm that's going to look at, where does this user go? What do they like? What are their hashtags? Really hone in on what are their favorite brands and products, and then narrow that down and put their face in a ad with their favorite product, the most in thing, the new thing, and put it in their feed so it's more personalized. They can click on it and go to the brand's site to browse through other products.
So if I take a selfie in front of McDonald's, you're going to show me an ad for my face next to a Big Mac.
Well, Deepface doesn't necessarily recognize McDonald's in the picture, but if you check in at McDonald's, they might show you in a picture with a new ad that they're running, a new feature that they have.
But checking in and posting an image with the deep face are two different things. So I guess my point is I'm not seeing the connection between what deep face does and how that targets ads uniquely. And the flip is, I think, the issue you probably position this as ads to people looking at my feed versus ads to me.
Ads to you.
So this is, the more I tag myself in pictures, the more ads I'm going to see.
No. You're just going to have, the tagging isn't necessarily related to more ads, it's just better ads for you.
Defined by what?
Better ads?
Yeah.
Defined by the info you give Instagram, your check-ins, your hashtags.
But what makes it a better ad? How can we tell it's a better ad?
Because you can actually see the product on you. I mean, you don't have to, it's not going to be.
So you're going to put me in that Abercrombie
Can you
picture
show
that says like come up here. Is that on here?
Sure.
Can you show them this time?
Oh,
We do have some
oh,
examples.
we do have some examples.
Yeah. So just to clarify, the hypothesis is that if you show Instagram users more personalized ads, which include pictures of themselves, then you're going to increase the click-through rate on those ads and then be able to generate more money from advertisers. That's like the fundamental
Yeah.
business model. Okay.
Which we don't have today with Instagram at all, really. So here are some examples, and I'd like to introduce the rest of our team. So here's Nivedita. She would have just bought a brand new car and has posted a bunch of pictures of her car and hashtag Mercedes, and she got an ad from State Farm. And here's Omar with really cool glasses by Warby Parker, and Shilpa on the end with Beats by Dre. So this is kind of what it would look like. It would just merge with the rest of your feed and look very natural.
Have you done any research on, so obviously this is personalizing the ad for you. How would this what kind of impact would this kind of personalization have as opposed to the personalization that we have today with our names?
I don't, what do you mean?
The kind of ads that you get today,
Uh-huh.
say for one, would you want to go to a McDonald's today, if I'm next to a McDonald's, it's still a personalized ad, it just has my name instead of my face. What would be the difference in the click-through rate if in case, instead of my name, if I had a face on it, that increases?
So our demographic is more perceptive to pictures, and their attention span is like 8 seconds. So they're going to be more inclined to clicking on something with their picture on it, with their favorite brand, like their Oakley sunglasses, rather than, hey Jenna, come look at the Oakley sunglasses. They're more attracted to the picture side of it than, I guess, the verbiage.
I would say the pictures are like more eye-catching than just the name. You might not read the name, but the pictures, you see yourself in the ads, that will be more attractive.
And when we're talking about this generation that's just really obsessed with themselves, and they want to see themselves, they want their friends to see themselves.
And so again, why Instagram as opposed to Facebook? You got a bigger audience on Facebook.
Well, our demographic is more, it's going to ask, I guess they're more selfie-like on Instagram than they are on Facebook. And they're going to be more inclined with these types of ads rather than Facebook. I mean, when we did our research and empathy interviews, we found we did it from Facebook perspective, and they were not so inclined with our solution. They were just like, you know, we don't want Facebook to have this information, and we don't want them to be able to use our face for authentication, if ever. And so we needed to. Facebook's too big right now for us to launch something like this on there.
Brandon, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, are you saying that you have found that people will be more accepting of Instagram, personalized ads for pictures versus the same actually on Facebook?
Sure.
Also, Instagram has a lot more growth opportunity. They only have 300 million users at the moment, but Facebook is at its mature level, so there is not as much growth in future.
Do you see this as a feature that would increase growth of Instagram usage though?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an assumption in your revenue model?
There's an assumption that Instagram itself will also continue to grow.
But is that growth assumption for Instagram driven by those features in fact, or through other drivers?
We do believe by Instagram users, continuing to create a community and a set of followers that will continue to drive new users, and we think with these features that will help, again, users create that community. So it kind of any feature we can implement to grease the wheels, I guess.
Okay, so features like this, as you innovate, will help grow these things.
Yeah.
I mean, the opportunity is huge with facial recognition. This is just our first step in that direction. If this is a hit, we're using Instagram as a playground to start testing and getting people acclimatized to ads like this. And after a certain point, I don't see why we couldn't extend it to Facebook once it becomes the norm.
Like, of all the things you could do, like security, auto tagging with pictures on Shutterfly, licensing an API, all that kind of stuff, why would ads on the platform itself be what you start? Like, what would your logic be?
Well, initially, we knew that Instagram has just deployed advertising. It does have some targeting right now based on your feed. We were looking at ways to enhance that. I was going to talk about this a little bit in a second, but one of the pushbacks for the community was, I don't necessarily want to see ads that's going to disrupt my feed and what I expect. And we really thought, well, how are there ways to make the ad more engaging and feel more relevant? And we really looked at leveraging facial recognition to insert you into the ad. And we do have thoughts and concepts of maybe extending that out to have your friends' faces appear, or allow your face to be shown on their profiles. So we're really looking at how can we, allow our users to maybe get their faces out there and be more useful, I guess, than just photos themselves.
Can you re-explain this to me? So your demographic are teenagers who take selfies but have no spending power, and you're showing them advertising that they'll click on but never buy things on. So then you're still stuck with the problem that Facebook itself has of showing advertising that isn't relevant.
Okay, so we do have some research showing that 83% of the top grossing income teens in America are on Instagram. So there are a large percentage of users that may not have money themselves, but might have an allowance or do have some income. So we actually do have a good user base of some of the most wealthy, maybe you could say, 13 to 24-year-olds in the world.
I mean, if you think about Disney.
Oh, time check?
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to hand it
Yeah,
out
let's
to
go over.
her.
Okay, so these are great questions. Go ahead.
One question just piggyback on what Kevin was asking. Very first slide that you had talked about Internet of Things. How is this coming together?
That's a good question. I will maybe jump through a few of these and get there. A lot of this is setting us up for what we hope will be onboarding to move into the Internet of Things. So a lot of this is kind of our initial steps, and I think some of the questions are coming up with why use Instagram. Again, we were saying we didn't say this, but maybe we're protecting our Facebook brand and using Instagram as a playground. But we do really see that within Instagram, we have one of the largest opportunities to directly influence kind of the next generation that's coming out beyond millennials, which is Generation Z. So right now, Instagram, about 41% of their makeup is 13 to 24-year-olds. And right now, we're trying to say that with this initial release, we believe that about we might have ability to target about 11.3 million users that we consider innovators and early adopter tweens. And so what we mean by that are people that are very opinionated on Instagram, people that have a big following, and those that are looking at how they can engage more with their followers. So this is who we're picturing in our mind. I don't think anyone here is a 14-year-old kid, but this is Jordan. So Jordan, she loves Instagram. She likes to share her likes, favorite makeup, favorite clothes, restaurants, that kind of thing. And then her goals are to create content, get more follows, more likes, more more retweets, a lot of comments on her photos. So that's her goal, and this is the user that we think we'd like to target first. Generation Z, some of the things that Sarah had mentioned, they're expected to have shorter attention spans, downward to 8 seconds versus millennials of up to 11 seconds. So we know that we have to catch their attention quick, and that's why we think the advertising is a good thing. A big thing too is they're more of a sharing, they want to create stuff versus share stuff. And I think one of the biggest pieces is communicate with images versus text. So millennials are more attuned to maybe text messaging, and there's some signs showing that like emoticons is a better way for these Generation Z users to communicate. So this is who we want to get very comfortable with the facial recognition, and then they will be primed for that Internet of Things. So revenue model. Right now our estimates show that we might be able to increase about $2 per ad if we have these more relative advertisements. And we think we can initially kick off within the first year, actually, about $23 million in revenue. And there's a lot of things going into this model, but it's increased Instagram users, maybe improving the technology.
So I'm still not good. Why do you think this is going to increase the Instagram, like number, like?
We believe we can charge more for these advertisements.
No, I get the advertisers will pay. Totally get that, but I'm not seeing how by putting Adam's face in the ad that shows in my Instagram feed that's going to make me more inclined to use it. If I know that's there, how that's going to encourage Paula to join Instagram so you can see Adam's face and you know the McDonald's ads or whatever.
So no, it's good points. I think some things that we'd like to prove out is maybe seeing what the community may choose to do with this advertisement model. Potentially, again, we could leverage Instagram's community and see if users want to share these photos and maybe use that as another way to both increase, their Instagram profile as well as advertisers, word of mouth. So we do feel there's some benefit to both sides, but then the auto tagging, of course, is a feature that we really feel can help kind of get your message out there more if people can see you more often. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go to our competitors. Google, Microsoft. We do see Google has a big portion of the advertising market online with AdSense. That's a strong suit. Microsoft has Xbox Connect with facial recognition strong suit. Weak sides, 3 minutes. Okay. So weak side for Google and Microsoft. Google doesn't have the social network that I think they thought they'd have with Google+, and Microsoft has tried a ton to get into the mobile side with the Windows Phone. We really see that we can leverage our strengths with one.
We have competition.
Okay, nobody cares. Okay, this is the kicker. Here's your slide. So as you're asking, we do see a really long roadmap for this technology that we have. Starting off with possibly Insta Ad and Insta Tag, going into authentication with facial recognition or maybe security, third-party APIs, long roadmap, and we would like this even to splinter off and create whole new product lines, but we see a big opportunity and growth.
Why do the Instagram stuff before facial recognition sign-in?
So that goes back to a lot of the interviews that we did, and we pivoted because of the feedback, and we felt that it maybe isn't the right time to release that. We think we need to help users get more comfortable with their face maybe being integrated into other scenarios or being used. So like we see a vision, like at the beginning of this, of Minority Report style, where you walk through the mall and there's an ad that's shown to me that has my face on it versus like Omar's face. To get there and create that acceptance, we see things like this being served up to this Generation Z to help increase the wheels of life.
Also to add on to that, with the Insta tag, the more pictures are tagged, the better we can train the model, and with more accuracy we can say that we can go into authentication space and authenticate the face.
Okay, so actually.
So once the user opts into the Insta tag, wherever his picture is, he'll be automatically tagged, and our model will be trained better, and we can get there better, and people will trust us more.
So Instagram already has my pictures and the pictures of my friends, right? So taking any more pictures is not going to change much. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is the deep face technology that you're talking about, the API. I don't see it coming to play when it comes to Insta. You already have my picture. You can take my picture and put it next to a McDonald's. It doesn't matter. You don't really need to do selfies. where would deepfakes come into play? in
Well,
that particular service?
Deepfakes would need to go through all of the pictures that you already have that are not tagged. And on Instagram, most users today don't tag their pictures because the process is really cumbersome. Instagram users don't have, they have very unique usernames. It's not like your full name as most people do on Facebook. So do you use Instagram? So who does in here? Have you ever tried to tag a picture in Instagram?
It sucks.
Yeah, it's not friendly. You usually use it on your phone. The faces are really small, so if you're at a birthday party, it's
But this is actually one of the reasons I was going to ask why you pick Instagram, because for the exact reason you pick, I believe your data would be way less than Facebook. Because Facebook, more people tag things, and you have a higher density of tagging, it's actually kind of easier. I just question like how deep the data would be for not just. I mean, you're going to know who I am, but actually.
Facebook also tags it.
Yeah, they have more data,
Right.
more people tag because it's easier. Instagram, it's not as heavily done, I think is your point, which is why I'm surprised you picked Instagram.
So you're correct. Like Facebook, our parent company, probably has a larger persona built up for its users, but I think that's one of the big things that we're requesting here is using this new technology to start getting out into trials and start getting some feedback and seeing, what we can make of it, what we can learn from it within a 6-month roadmap.
That work is massive, how privacy kids you might be quite big as soon as you announce the changes to like your privacy policy. I mean, like people react very negatively.
And that's a good point. I forgot my quote from Mark Zuckerberg's last quarterly report that he sees a future where we connect the world and build the future of platforms. And
That's true.
sometimes we have to take risks.
But the thing I told you guys initially was, when it comes to disclosing pieces of information about myself, there has to be a very clear give to get. I'm going to give you my zip code so you can give me what, right? If I'm going to give you a 360 view of myself so you can authenticate and log me in everywhere, put my face everywhere, what am I getting in exchange for the explicit permission from you? And I don't really feel that that case has been made yet.
So this won't be applied on all Instagram users. This is why we say it's only 11.3 million. They will have to accept or deny for now this to share their face. And this is why we said it's only 11. It's like a feature. It's an option feature. And each and every new user will have this by default, but the existing 300 million, they have to accept. So we're giving them the option. And this is why we started with Instagram, because the demographics, 41% are in the age between 13 and 24. And these are more cool using new technologies, and they don't have all the security issues and stuff.
Do we have time for a question?
Yeah, just a couple of questions.
Just
and then we
maybe
can
one.
move on. Go ahead.
So what's the difference between the current feature of like the facial recognition or the facial assumption of who it is when you tag people on friends? Like if you don't tag anyone, it says, do you want to tag, and it gives you a list. Is that something similar to what the facial recognition is similar? I mean, the software is similar to what you guys are proposing, or is it proprietary information but developing a 3D recognition?
It's a lot more accurate. On Facebook, oftentimes if you have pictures taken in low light, or if you're wearing a different, like a costume or something, it's not going to recognize you. Whereas deep face doesn't really need to see your face, but it just needs the 3D structure of your face, and it can recognize you a lot better.
All right. Last comments
From the panel.
Sorry, we're for sure going to.
So I think you guys had a really hard problem, which is engineers build some cool technology and then you have to figure out how to sell it. So I think the approach you took was interesting. I think that might be like a novelty product. And I didn't see like a too solid a business case around like why we should do that as a company, but with Facebook, so we can just A/B test it and prove that out really, really quickly. I think what I'd have preferred to have seen is you guys spend more time on those like longer term problems with a bigger opportunity, because this to me feels like low risk but low opportunity. So I'd probably fund it, but I would prefer to fund something bigger.
I actually disagree. I think it's high risk, unclear opportunity. I think the thing that's hanging out there a few months or a few iterations down the road is actually lower risk and more opportunity for licensing and more value added customers. So if you tell me I never have to carry a key again, and I'll let you into my house with my face alone, I'm willing to give up a lot to never have to carry a key again. Right? I mean,
What are you thinking of the customer in that case? The user?
I think the customer is the person who buys the right to use that data. You as a customer who pay for the product that comes with that service like that. So I think licensing the API.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what Kevin is saying is very much true. This all goes back to the concept of federated identity. And Facebook is already doing it. You can log into multiple websites with your Facebook ID. The whole concept of personalization using your face itself would probably extend that identity or that capability a little further instead of using a username and password, you can use your face for it. I think that might be a better proposition to go rather than trying to target this particular opportunity. Just because I'm still not convinced if the personalization of the ads using this basic Facebook technology is going to lead to any additional CTR on the ads stage. I think there's got to be a lot more data that we can collect to see if that's actually viable.
So we started there, like exactly what you just said, and we got a lot of negative feedback on like people are just not going to sign up for this right now, and so then we stepped back and we were like, well, maybe we're looking at the wrong problem to solve. Maybe the problem to solve right now, today, is we need to get people to trust us and to buy into the facial recognition concept, which is what we needed to make it cool before we started, letting people sign into things and, walk into their homes or unlock their cars with their face. But
Maybe
that,
even word than cool is familiar. Like if you grow up from 12 with your facial recognition,
Yeah.
you're familiar with that, and then it's not such a big, as Kevin was saying, value risk. Because it's like, oh yeah, I've been doing that since I was 12, not a big deal.
right,
What
which
was
is
your feedback, though? Like, what did they object to that? Is it they objected to using their face for other purposes, or explicitly for the corner case of unlocking my door?
The concern they had, can we trust this technology? What if, I'm trying to get into my house and it's just not hitting me for whatever reason? Can we trust this technology?
So they didn't believe it would work.
It's a technology barrier.
So then I think the other flip would be, like, the easy way is for my Hotmail account, or whatever other account I want to have, giving you access to Facebook identity. Log in with a password, log in with my face, and if the face doesn't work, you can actually just use the password again. Very no risk, you'll get your data real quick. Simple API licensing, clear, give to get.
This was actually the first project we had, and also the feedback was not really good about the security. So we had the option that people log into Facebook, and we have a third-party application that you can log into with their emails, and even banks and e-commerce website. But the people were so, they didn't feel so comfortable about using their face to log into any critical data or any banking or any something like that, even emails.
I think you would probably, I don't know whether you just remarked on that, but you would probably face the same concerns with the targeted ads with my face on it. I would be really concerned if you show my face next to a McDonald's burger.
Yeah, but-
This is why the customer-
but a 15-year-old wouldn't.
Exactly. This is why the customer is 15 to 24. It's not anybody in this room right now. You know what I mean?
Those guys would not.
I think that
We're running out of
the point of being really aggressive.
We're gonna eat us.
Yeah, I know, we're way over time on this one, so you get the last word, Kevin.
So, this is nice. While your customer, Facebook is so big and ubiquitous, while your customer may be 12 to 15, the fact that you have to release this PR statement, say that you're going to do this, even if it's only for opt-in 12 to 15-year-olds, press will run with it and basically just barbecue you out in the landscape. And everyone will be freaking out saying, oh my God, Facebook is going to do this. And that PR nightmare is so difficult to get a hold of. And I think you're really underselling how dangerous that is.
All right, and that's the last word.
That's what I love.
Appreciate your feedback.
All right.